Now on bounds, O.J. Simpson has been granted parole after serving nearly 9 years in prison for that armed robbery and kidnapping in Las Vegas. Yesterday's parole hearing broadcast nationwide, worldwide. It included testimony from Simpson, his daughter, one of his daughters, and one of the victims of that robbery. Blanca Cobb is here. She is our internationally recognized body language expert and behavior analyst who has a background in psychology and statement analysis, which means you are the perfect person to help us sort of break down OJ's testimony and body language from yesterday's hearing. So thank you for being here tonight.
Of course.
Okay, so you wanted us to look at what you thought was one of the key moments from yesterday's hearing. It is when Simpson talked about the time that he served in prison.
I've done my time. You know, I've done it as well and as respectfully as I think anybody can. I think if you talk to the wardens, they'll tell you I gave them my word.
What did you notice when OJ was talking about doing his time? What stood out to you?
In my world, it's what we call character testimony. So your actions don't speak for themselves. You're recruiting somebody to say, yeah, he did a good job. So what he was talking about, ask the wardens. They got my back. They're going to tell you how good I did.
Anything else from that key moment that you wanted to touch on?
Well, for him, he's being very empathetic. He is trying to let the world know that he was a model person behind bars.
Model inmate. Okay. Simpson did get a little heated. I noticed this when answering one of the commissioner's questions. Let's watch that.
So you believe that the property was yours?
It's been ruled legally by the state of California that it was my property, and they've given it to me.
What can you tell us about that response?
Well, first, he didn't answer the question. The question was, do you believe? And he jumps, it's been legally ruled that it is my property, therefore it was given back to me. And then you could see it in his face. He's leaning forward. You could see his teeth. He was, flaring those teeth. You could see in his facial expressions and his eye, and the eye glares. That, to me, is a hot spot. When you're talking about that property, he may not like how it turned out, but in my opinion, he felt justified in getting his property back.
Which you could then make the leap that he felt justified in his actions that he took, which, of course, landed him in prison.
Exactly.
Okay. You were also surprised, Blanca, at Simpson's response when he talked about weapons. Let's watch.
Nobody's ever accused me of pulling any weapon on them.
Shocked you about this statement?
We don't know what he means by weapon. So you can't interpret somebody's words for them. You really have to understand what they're talking about. So we do know that he had a history of domestic violence with his wife, correct?
Confessed domestic abuser.
Exactly. What does he consider a weapon? Are his fists not a weapon, or is he talking about an object? So if you're not really paying attention, then you could be like, oh, well, maybe he really didn't use a weapon. It's all about the definition. It's about his vernacular.
Okay. We also want to talk about what you noticed when Simpson talked about being in the community versus being in prison. We're going to listen to this exchange and then hear from you on the back end.
Why is it better to be in the community than in the prison?
Well, I do have 4 kids. I've missed a lot of time with those kids. I think I am a guy who's always been a giving guy. I've, even on the street, people have always come to me. My reputation has always been that I'm open to the public. I'm open to everybody.
What did you gather from that explanation?
Well, first he's talking about his family. He's talking about his kids. The question is, why should you be in the community, not with your family? So in my opinion, he's not answering the questions. You'll notice he had some shoulder shrugs. I'm open, I'm available to the public. That conveys uncertainty. Is he committed to his answer? I'm not exactly sure. And when you're talking about the community, let's talk about, or not us, what he should be talking about if you're in the same position again. What have you learned? Somebody else is probably going to have your property at some point. You're not going to like it. What are you going to do next time? We're trusting to put you back in the community where you have already demonstrated that you're going to break the law. You're going to take the law in your own hands because you feel you're justified in doing so.
We didn't talk about this, but you're so well versed in this, I feel like I can throw this out to you. One of the things that stood out to me was when he talked about having lived a conflict-free life.
Now we all know it's documented, and as you said, he confessed to it.
To beating his wife.
Exactly.
Not slapping her around, beating, I don't know, can I say the snot out of her on TV? I mean, we're talking serious stuff here.
You're going back to the definition. What does he consider conflict-free? There are some people who have the mindset, you belong to me, you're married to me, you don't follow my rules. Guess what? There are consequences. We don't know what it means to him.
I was watching a lot of analysts and pundits, of course, weighing in on all of this. And, one lady was like, I'm personally betting that he's going to be back in trouble before this is, all said and done. She said, I give it a year. Was there anything about his body language that would lead, credibility to that thought going on?
No, but I will tell you this. I would imagine that he has prepared answers for this.
Oh, of course.
9 years into what, a 30-something...
33.
33 prison sentence, right? So he's getting out. He would be crazy not to prepare answers, control his body language, his movements, because he's going to want to convince the commissioners, I am worthy of early release.
And he did. We shall see. If he's smart, he'll take a page from Casey Anthony's book. She has disappeared.
Absolutely.
You're 70. If you're going to Florida, disappear.
One thing he did say is that he declined interview requests from the media. In my opinion, he's putting his relevancy out there. I'm still relevant if the media's coming to me asking for interviews. And you know what? I'm saying no.
For now.
For
I
now.
think that's going to change too. But we'll just have to wait and see. If you would like to reach out to Blanca, you can go to her website, BlancaCobb.com. You can also reach her at our office. The number there on your screen, 336-505-8740. She's all over social media. Connect with her on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The handle the same for all of them, at Blanca Cobb. We put all of that information on WBTV.com. Look in the Web Extra section right there on the home page. As always, fantastic perspective. We appreciate you. And you're sticking around with us tonight.
I'm back.
She's coming back later in the show to talk about how busy parents can reconnect with one another, as in their spouses. So Delano's going to do that, and we're looking forward to that.
I am too.
Okay. Delano, back to you.